Hi, everybody. You guys want to start finding a seat? We're getting started really soon. Thank you so much for making it out today. I just want to let everybody know who didn't hear earlier. We're doing a game essentially during the event. The information's right here in the bottom corner. Grab it. Anari and Dennis, I believe they're in the back. Anari, if you can raise your hand. Oh, he's busy. They're in the back if you guys have any questions. Oh, Dennis right there can help you out too. The game's been playing during the event. The first person who wins $50 gets $50. We got $50 up right now. You can go to the website, when you have some time, maybe we'll do it later as well. But I just want everybody to know, and that's the code to start playing. So we'll circle back around that after the event as well. I just wanted to hand the mic over real quick to Justin, who's going to tell you guys about the space. We're super thrilled to be here again. This is a fantastic space. Thanks so much, Justin.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much, Travis. And can we get a round of applause for Travis and Rick and Tom and the other people who put this event together? The other folks. This is an emerging technology space, and we feel less alone on the frontier when we get to put starch in our bellies and good cheer. So my name is Justin Hall. I work for DG717. We're the hosting entity in physical space. So we are incarnated in flesh, trapped within walls of concrete and steel. These steel and concrete walls have nominal ownership from a Japanese investment firm called Digital Garage. That's what the DG and DG717 stands for. And Digital Garage, it was founded 23 years ago to sort of make sense of this internet thing. And they were early, and they were on time, maybe like you folks. And they built up this opportunity. They have to invest and build businesses. And so they have this space because, I don't know if you know much about Japan's economy, but if you know about Japan's birth rate, the entire nation is shrinking. And you could argue that the declining birth rate in Japan is a symptom of a defunct economy. You people who are standing, there's seats all up in the front row. Get over here, I don't spit. And so basically, how can we revitalize an economy? How can we revitalize a country? What can Digital Garage do? They can open a co-working space, host conversations like this, and hope that some ideas shake out that might kick Japan in the pants and punch some holes in their condoms. So we're here to run this co-working event and incubation space. If you're a person working in advanced technologies, maybe we have a desk that you would like to rent here, or maybe we can talk about doing an event with you, or maybe you're someone that we would give money to make your dreams real and dream together with us. So if any of this sounds attractive, put your fingers on the keyboard and rub out Justin at DG717, and we can be in touch.
Thanks, Justin. While I have all of your attention, of course, there's other people to thank as well. Waxman PR, and actually Derek's here right now from Waxman PR. They really are a huge help in kind of helping get sponsors and connect with the community. They are a PR firm out of the Wall Street PR firm. They sponsor Kraken, Purse, companies like that, really big in the Bitcoin space. Huge thanks to them for helping sponsor. Additionally, KeepKey, the hardware wallet, Trezor, Ledger, KeepKey, fantastic way to keep your Bitcoin safe. I actually am hoping to do a class in the next couple of months on how to keep your Bitcoin safe. We'll probably have the KeepKey guys run that, so it's fantastic. A lot of interest in that one. Additionally, CoinSource, they do Bitcoin ATMs. Last I heard, I think they have 3 ATMs in the city, maybe it's 3 or 4. And it's an excellent way to kind of get people on board in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And of course, Dash. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with what's going on with Dash right now. They are number 3 on CoinMarketCap. They're the 3rd largest coin out there. So we're super glad to have them helping sponsor as well, and kind of sharing that wealth in the community, and helping kind of bring people together for these events. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have Christian. He's going to be going first, so to kind of tell you about his project. And then we'll go straight into the next speaker, Jay. He'll talk about his project. And what we'll do is we'll hold questions till the end, and we'll just kind of a joint Q&A. It'll be like our panel. So just kind of, if you think of anything, hold on to it in your mind. I'm gonna give a moment to start getting set up. You guys can grab one more quick beer, maybe another slice of pizza, and we'll get started really soon. Thanks for coming out.
involved in the space.
So Grishnigon's also been doing games for a while. They did a BitQuest a while back, and now they're doing their own game, HammerCoin. But I'm going to just let him go ahead and describe that to you. Get into more detail. Everyone, a quick round of applause for Christian. Thanks so much for coming out here, Christian. You got brief moments till the ground of the beer.
Wow.
Freshest seconds.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many casinos do you have today?
We're our first one. And we'll be
All right, here we go.
Oh, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm CEO of a company called Amigo. We're a game development company in Santiago, Chile. Very far from here, it's like a 16-hour flight. Also, I'm the lead developer of the BitQuest Minecraft mod, and this is a Minecraft modification to plug Bitcoin into Minecraft. This is a open source project. It's for fun. It's not a company or anything, so that's why it's got two separate slides. And I want to tell you about this is now like 2 years of Bitcoin and gaming craziness. I want to tell you what I've been up to these 2 years. So first, we can talk about the reasons to use Bitcoin in games, and we can talk about that, but actually I want to talk about one big reason. And this reason is the most compelling to me, it's the most compelling to my team, and it's the most compelling to the players that we are hosting in our servers, and that is player-to-player transactions. So this is something that you just cannot do in credit card money. If you make a game where every player is a Bitcoin wallet or a digital currency wallet, it's inherently something that people can trade outside the game. So this is something never before seen in the story of games. Maybe Second Life, a few outliers, but it's actually very, very uncommon. So why this is so compelling to us, why this is so important, is because strange things occur when you allow people the freedom to exchange the game money between the players. It's new situations will happen inside the game if you let players the freedom, and if you open the relationship that is not just anymore the developer selling stuff to the player, and you allow the player to sell stuff to other players. Stuff like this, for example. This was a horse race a player invented, and there was a pool. So there's other players who got together a little Bitcoin to make a prize pool, so they can make a horse race and the winner gets the pool. So this was like an epic horse race that lasted 1 hour and a half, and it was streamed via Twitch. And it was such a great event, and it had an after party. So at the finish line, there were fireworks and people were drinking poison, because in Minecraft there's no beer, there's poison. So we got a little intoxicated, and it was very, very, very fun. So why did we did that? Just for fun, but the winner got a small amount of Bitcoin that now is a big amount of Bitcoin. So this was like maybe 2 years ago. Another example is that there was the BitQuest Transit Authority. So there was a problem as the city was getting bigger. There wasn't any reliable way of transport. So to get from Mesa Town to San Bitcoño, it was like a really, really, really hard road, and you could get killed in the way, and then you go back to the original spawn, and it was like you lost all the afternoon. So there was players who were organizing transit authority to make travel safe. And there was a way to donate money to the guy who was like designing all this stuff. And he was like, at that time, ChangeTip was still going, so people just ChangeTip via Reddit to give money to this guy to make this stuff happen. And that's how the railroads now work till this day in BitQuest. And there's also other situations that can happen that doesn't happen in any other online game, like this situation where this guy decided to spend a quarter of Bitcoin to buy a bunch of emeralds. Emeralds are the most expensive item in the game, and he bought a quarter Bitcoin of emeralds, and he decided he was gonna burn it all. So he's literally burning cash inside the game. I don't know of any other example of someone burning cash inside a game, but this guy did, just for fun. So there you go. You can, if you haven't seen Bitcoin burning, this is the first time you're gonna see Bitcoin burning. So yeah, that's how a Bitcoin gets burned. Like a quarter Bitcoin, actually. But yeah, maybe this guy is regretting now this. but yeah, he did it. There's no way back. So after watching all these situations unfold, after watching how a game can be totally different just because the ability of having players send money to each other, we decided that we're gonna take stuff to the next level. So we decided we're gonna make our own game, standalone game, not a mod anymore. So we started making HammerCoin. So HammerCoin is an action RPG game that is very similar to Minecraft, but it's also different in that we can do a lot of stuff that the Minecraft API will not. Let's do just 1 second. Sorry about that. I need to do the dual screen thing. Just 1 second. So, HammerCoin is our new game, and just like BitQuest, every game is a actual Bitcoin wallet. So this is very similar to Diablo and Zelda or any action RPG game, with the big difference that I can do this. I can use my cell phone to send money inside the game. If I have any Bitcoin wallet, I can send $1 to a game. And without typing, this is my favorite part of the game, without using credit cards, without typing my account, without giving the payment credentials to developers, even that, like, I don't know if they should be trusted or not. Okay, there I got. So now I can use this Bitcoin to buy some, or I could buy, to buy some, to buy a lace, a nice velvet lace for a fancy dress. That's very what I would buy. So, but might need some stuff to kill some monsters, so maybe I'm gonna buy a sword too. So the cool thing is that I can spend Bitcoin instantly after selling, but there also a cool thing is that I can sell the stuff that I don't need anymore. So maybe the lace was not a good idea, so I'm gonna sell it back and get Bitcoin. So the idea is that you can make this game a pay-to-win game. So, but you can also make this game a win-to-pay game if I can find all the stuff that is rare, not loot drops, and if I can find like all this stuff that I can sell to the market or maybe to other players, I could win money, right? So let's see if I can go and find something that I can sell back to this guy. But yeah, it's an action game, and the cool thing about this game too is that there's a market that goes that adjusts to the supply and demand of game objects. So we made objects pretty rare in the way that there should be very, very coveted by other players who really want it. So there's actually some cards and spells. Oh, I got killed. Killed right away. I don't know why I went to the most difficult part of the game, but I'm gonna try anyway. Second time. Okay, yeah. Hey, I got 1 bit. So there's also prices in Bitcoin. Randomly, it's very rare, but yeah, we also give some money loot to, and there's my friends, the other developers who are here to help me out. So this is an online game, so when you go into this cave, you're gonna see all the other people that's also playing in this cave. So they all got prices, and I'm not getting anything. Oh yeah, I do have another price too. And of course, you can, like all the money that I've won, like selling stuff to these guys or we can buy loot, I can take out to any Bitcoiners. So if I'm old school now, or maybe this is my first time in Bitcoin, I can also use Coinbase to buy my first Bitcoin with a credit card. Like this. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's not the idea. But yeah, so that is HammerCoin. And we're launching it. We're launching it now. We're like today you can go buy it. And the way we did it, when we started this project, and when we started the last project, like there was like a viable way of not using fees and use all the what space left in the blocks to use for microtransactions. Of course, this is not reality right now. So yeah, what the game works just as like any other Bitcoin exchange. It means that we create addresses. These are HD addresses, so we can like optimize the amount of fees that are paying. So the player pays a fee to enter the Hammer ledger. We solve all the debits and credits inside the ledger, and when you cash out, we, the developers, pay this fee to pay you back when you want to get your money out. So this is something that, this is like I want to get as clear as I can get because, this presentation is now about the block size debate. But yeah, it depends on the market, on how much players are gonna be. If right now the players to get money into a game, they pay like a million of 50 cents every time they want to get money into a game, and we see players spending $60 or $50. It's not uncommon. So 50 cents for a player, it kind of makes sense. So if this model that we call the first generation of our Hammer model is gonna scale it's up to the market, right? So there's something that this is really cool. We like it, and we see it working. We see players like willing to pay the fees, at least the market fees that are right now. So yeah, we like it a lot. So you can go buy the game. You can try this at HammerCoin.com. And yeah, go buy it. I'll wait. But yeah, that's kind of my presentation. But I wanted to say that what I want to express here is that there's an opportunity for Bitcoin to get Bitcoin into the hands of players. I think that we are seeing now that gamers are discovering Bitcoin, and I think the game niche is big. It's not a niche; it's like a population, and they're pretty aggressive early adopters. So I think you should expect more people in gaming to go after Bitcoin. We believe that in the future, online games will move to digital currency. It depends on the Bitcoin community if it's going to be Bitcoin or another currency. But the thing that is most compelling to us is this idea of that games are not just a product now. The online games are not just a product. Online games are communities, and communities mean that for some people, game is not just something to win or lose. It's a place to express yourself. It's a place to be yourself or be someone else, and or to meet like-minded people. And for a lot of people, game communities are very important. And I can think like 1,000 people. Many people who will identify more with the gaming community than with a country or a political party. If you think about it, like there's lots of them. So it's time to, if these games are becoming small societies in the cloud, if these games are becoming more like virtual worlds instead of games, we should think about the things that we are taking from the physical world to the virtual world, and the things that we leave behind to the virtual world. And we, at our company, we believe that the things that we must leave behind from the physical world are banks. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to go right to the next speaker. Please, if you have any questions, remember them, write them down, whatever works for you. And we'll do Q&A at the end. So I'm going to welcome up Jay Burke. He is the founder of ProtoBlock Fantasy Games. All right, here we go. We'll just go right into it.
Hey guys.
I'll give him a moment to get his computer hooked up.
Hey guys.
We're very excited to have Jay here. It's sort of a very different look at the industry as well. With HammerCoin, it's sort of traditional game you guys might expect. But fantasy football and fantasy sports, it's a huge industry as well, and we're very excited to hear that side and that take.
My name is Jay Burke. I'm the founder of ProtoBlock. There's going to be like 4 main things going on here. I think I kind of know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. How many people here play fantasy sports? Nice. How many people here trade financial markets? How many people here know about Bitcoin? Yeah, and coding, programming. Everybody. Wow, there. Okay. So we are a startup, we're a blockchain startup for the professional fantasy football player. our goal is to help them monetize their skill. That's our main goal. We're a startup, a for-profit startup. Our apps are running on our own blockchain, and we've been live for the last 2 seasons on the blockchain, and we use this thing called proof of skill consensus. So what is a professional gamer? A professional gamer is someone who games for a living. That means that they don't have a day job. That means that they can support a family of 4 doing gaming, indefinitely. There's about around 10,000 professional esports gamers. Not sure how many of them have a family, but there's definitely 3,000 poker players that make a lot of money constantly as professional gamers. And the combined market of those 2 is less than fantasy sports. And I have not yet met a professional fantasy football player. So we have a $50 billion market. Somebody's making a lot of money, and it doesn't seem like it's the guys who are the experts in the market. So what's going on here? So all has to do with regulation, as most things in general, and especially blockchain. So in 2008, George Bush wrote into law that fantasy sports is not considered gambling, and it has a special carve-out, so it's completely legal. However, requiring you have to do 2 things. And those 2 things actually took this game of skill and threw in a bunch of randomness. And that's what we have today. So that's why it's such a huge market, because it's legal, completely legal. So you don't have to go to Vegas or go online and have special. And, but people are finding it hard to, impossible to earn living. And the reason for that, even though you have a positive expected value, the variance is really high. So, you need a law of large numbers, and eventually it may take 5, 10, 20 years, you will get all the money back, but that's not good enough. So, so what we do is whenever there is a problem like this in general, we use the financial markets. So we created a distributed exchange for trading futures on fantasy football. So one of the issues is that you have to have a team, and we have the ability to take that team and you could trade individual players and hedge your risk like that. So this is a complete Wall Street, Chicago kind of exchange on the blockchain, and we actually launched the trading in 2016. So how can we do this? Well, first of all, if we go completely blockchain distributed, then theoretically do whatever we want. But we are not fantasy, but we're regulated the same way, corn farmers get to hedge their corn risk in Chicago using futures contracts. So we're going that route, and we have around 60 million natural hedgers here, because everyone who plays fantasy is automatically able to gamble in this highly leveraged market because you're a hedger. Okay, so this is our product. It's a desktop application. It's like a full node, kind of. There's 2 games. First game is the projections game, and it basically is almost like a faucet. Is a protocol to decide who gets the coins, and it's based on knowledge of fantasy football. Basically, anyone who tries will get some coin, and anyone who plays fantasy sports will get more coins. And that's kind of like the mining. And then we have the trading, where you take that skill and you leverage it in the contract. So here are some of the details. A coin is called Fantasy Bits. Fantasy Bits are described like this. So fantasy points are a way to take statistics from sports and normalize them across positions. So by definition, we define the protocol that every fantasy point scored in the NFL generates 100 fantasy bits. So the users, instead of create your private key, public key, you create a name, and then you send a projection. So you have to do this every week for every player in the NFL. It's about 650 players each week, and you have to make a projection. And depending on how accurate you are, you get part of those rewards. So we call it, the way you have reached consensus, we call it proof of skill. It's kind of like, it's a kind of proof of stake. So that's the low level. But someone who wants to skip the hard part and go straight to monetizing skill, they could buy in to the futures exchange, and that's a pure trading platform, running locally on your desktop, the full decentralized limit order book on all 650 players. And when you make a trade, you're matching with other players, and commission obviously goes to the exchange, and then we have an efficient market and a ticker fee. That's our Proto ticker. So there we have it. We use the blockchain to kind of create a way for people to speculate and leverage their skill. We want to take this one step further, but let's look at some use cases, like actual use cases. So someone's about to win a big tournament. So it's week 16. They've been working on this since like August, 40 hours a week. They're the last two left. They're about to win $250,000. They have Tom Brady going tonight, Monday Night Football, and there's no one else in the other team going. They just need 10 points. So if they get to 10 points, they win $250,000. If he breaks his leg and gets 0 points, they make maybe $50,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable him to sell short Tom Brady, hedge his risk, and in the case where he breaks his leg, he's going to end up winning about $50,000. So in a sense, he just took money off the table for Tom Brady. So this is the reason for existence, to have a real hedge case. And then the other one is, 50% of sports is predicting people that underperform. Currently, there's no way to monetize 50% of your skill. So with our exchange, you could just short Adrian Peterson last year or CJ Spiller the year before and monetize all your skill. And then what does this do for the rest of the fantasy community? So there's about 60 million fantasy players, only about 2 million actually do it for real money. And the rest of them pay subscription fees for data, projections, expert opinion. So what if your quarterback is limping 60 seconds before kickoff, right? And you have to make a decision. Do you start him? Do you sit him? It's probably news out there if he's going to sit, if he's going to start. You could go scramble, turn on your computer. You could just pick up our app, take a look at the chart. So the efficient market should send that thing to 0 if he's not playing, and it should be steady if he is playing. So there you have data feeds for the rest of the community. So those are our 3 use cases. So here's the actual trade example. Let's see if I can do it for you. Okay, so let's pick so what you're seeing here, so this is the full market depth. So let me just add, I'm going to buy 1 at 1. So I'm basically willing to pay 1, and that's added 1 to the size of 1. So if I try to buy 1 at 21, now I'm top of the book. If I want to actually be aggressive, then I jump the boat and the trade happens. So what you have here is you have a full, let's just say you have a full Chicago Mercantile Exchange on your desktop for 650 contracts. So everything is running distributed. There is a centralized, time stamping for various reasons, but at this point we're using the blockchain at minimum as a distributed computing platform design pattern. But one of the things that's very difficult in general in exchange matching engines is this limit order book. For example, we're on to cancel this 20. That operation is kind of complex, and you notice Mt. Gox had the lag feed, and a lot of these Bitcoin exchanges has like 12 decimal places, and the reason why it's because they don't limit the number of, you don't have a tick size, which is one of the big mistakes. So by us having a tick size, we're able to have 650 exchange markets at once. So that's this. And then as soon as the trade happens, there will be a tweet at ProtoTicker. And this is kind of, like our Bloomberg style marketing. So what are the benefits from so a lot of this pitch is, raising funds, but by financialization of fantasy sports, we enable, everyone on Wall Street, all the to actually provide a service to the hedgers, and we could, they could create markets, and it's an added customer base. And now we could, our main goal is to have fantasy sports as a profession, so that's now possible, assuming you actually are an expert. If you're not an expert, you will lose all your money, like anyone trades futures. But that's the. So how do we know this is possible? First of all, we are live, kind of live. I mean, we are on the iOS and Android, so it's live, but it's within the game. There's no way in and there's no way out. So you could earn cryptocurrency, you could bet with your cryptocurrency, but you can't transfer your cryptocurrency in or out. All we did is we just left out the transfer transactions from our blockchain until we figure out the regulatory. So we kind of have like a video game with a Chicago Mercantile Exchange inside for fantasy. One of the things that's interesting is Intel. So IBM, I think they gave Hyperledger to Linux, and then Linux and Intel got together and they decided to figure out what this thing could be used for. And they came up with blockchain for fantasy sports, and they actually ran a similar thing to what we're doing in an internal test with trading. So, this does seem like a really good concept to be used with the blockchain. Now, what happened 2012? So since 1963, fantasy sports has been going up and up and up. 2012, it was like a $8 billion, $7 billion industry, and then all of a sudden, DFS showed up, and it went from 7 billion to 27 billion in the last 4 years. So what happened? I mean, it's not like it's in any of a better game. It's actually probably a little more difficult to win. But getting back to the law of large numbers is that people really want to monetize their skill, and this is just another way. So what Daily did is they took the season-long game, which you make one bet at the beginning of the season. They said you could do it once a week, so you multiply that by 16, and there you go. However, DFS is still part of fantasy, so now we think there's the same issues. There's still no professional DFS players that I know, maybe a couple, maybe in basketball. So we think there could be another quadrupling, so it's a huge market. And the next point is the most important point, is the proof of regulated blockchain markets. So we're following the path of Overstock.com with the SEC. They work together, and the SEC is as comfortable as they were to go in the blockchain. They did, and whatever they didn't, they'll do the next iteration. Again, we are, although I am a blockchainer, a Bitcoiner, okay to move on from the blockchain if I need to and just use the technology and then have a separate distributed game. But we have to, we're instead of the SEC, we're going to do the CFTC, and they actually, I know they're letting Augur go and a lot of other places go, so they seem very open to the idea, which is the most important part. Comparing us to the current games, we offer more skill, more capacity, shorting and not 24/7, but 365 days a year. We could bet on 2018, 2019. You could do Dynasty, you could do rookies. I mean, unlimited things you could do. The only thing is, you can only do it if you are an accredited investor or a natural hedger, and so we can advertise, and it's going to be more like a private exchange. Where we are now, we launched. Genesis, our white paper was called Satoshi Fantasy. I don't know if anyone remembers that. We rebranded, but our white paper was 2014, and we went live for 2015, distributing the coins, and then 2016, we turned on the weekly futures trading. And right now, we're looking to turn on the 2017 trading and raise money and get some more talent into the company. Thank you, guys. Look forward to questions after the panel.
Thank you, Jay. So we're going to go ahead and welcome Christian back up. We'll jump right into the questions. You guys can just chill here if you like. So I'll pass the mic around. Just go ahead and wait for the microphone so Cam can hear you. If you have a question, anybody want to raise their hand, get in on this? All right.
What are your feelings on the use of ERC20 tokens for gaming currency? Is that something you guys are looking into or think there's a future for?
Do you mean like something similar to what counterparty tokens are?
Well, it's the Ethereum token
Ethereum
standard.
tokens, okay. So, I think the next level is that this is a RPG game, so you get items, right? You get a sword, you get a card, you get a lot of stuff and your inventory, right? So I think that inventory of items, and if you could trade those items between players, it falls into the category of maybe a crypto token, and I think that's pretty exciting. I think that's where this is going, right? But for now, when me and my development team started to take on this project, we saw two problems. First, the problem of the game currency, and second, the problem of the game items. So we decided we're gonna spend time on just one problem first, and then we're gonna tackle the second problem. So I still believe that is the approach. For now, we are concentrated on the gaming currency, and the gaming currency, I believe it's going to be a standard digital currency. We believe that most online games will move to digital currency. For me, it's obvious reasons. Maybe in another presentation I can explain like a big number of reasons we have why games should be in digital currency, but it's easier to understand the reverse question is, why should we denominate video games in US dollar? Right? Why should we denominate games in US dollar? If games are not part of any country, games are in the cloud, right? The games that don't have a physical domain, right? Money is made for a physical domain. So it doesn't make sense. It should be, this new world, this new societies should be independent from the physical world. So that's the problem we are really concentrated right now. And we think we should, I think Bitcoin, we love Bitcoin. We like Bitcoin to be the official currency of virtual worlds. We think it's ready, we think it's perfect, we think it has the right community, we think it has the right developers. And maybe I was not clear enough on the fee problem, but we see players not having problems with fees. So when we see people doing commentaries on Twitter about the rising fees and stuff, like, we don't see that kind of commentary on our players. And we also think it's not something that's similar to the I can buy a coffee on chain problem, because it's not the same problem. Players fund their game wallets with $20, with $50, $60. So we feel Bitcoin, we feel that this is the right choice. And the problem we're solving, the Bitcoin is perfect for that problem, is the game currency. And I think the next step, at least for us, is gonna be the problem of the game inventory, which is the items, that can be tokenized, which, if it's collectible cards, it could be exchanged over a blockchain. And I think that's pretty exciting, but it's not what we are doing. And I think there are other people doing that, like the people of Spells of Genesis. And they
unfortunately, Spells of Genesis at the last minute couldn't make it.
Okay, but they're actually doing that. So maybe that's I'm not discarding the idea. I think that Spells of Genesis is a great idea, but we're just concentrating on that. And I want to make sure that we all know that we are choosing Bitcoin.
I guess along the same lines, a question for Jay. What sort of drove you not to use Bitcoin?
So there's something to do with, there's a core blockchain operation and there's a non-core operation. So something that's fundamental to the blockchain, our primary transaction is a projection, and Bitcoin's primary transaction is a transfer. We have we are in blockchain completely, so we have no use for currency. However, on top of that, we could definitely see uses for counterparty or Ethereum type assets. But Bitcoin itself, I guess counterparty, colored coins, we could use that for other parts, but for the core, we have a blockchain protocol that is at the same level as Bitcoin. What's up, blockchain protocol?
Yeah, I had a quick question about the fantasy tokens. Is it compatible? So, for example, could you throw those on a traditional crypto exchange like Poloniex, and it would just work, or it's...
Yes, it will. So we have we just have to turn on the transfer transaction. Right now, it's off, so there's no way to transfer coins by design. Yeah. So it's a crypto token that can't be transferred.
That's kind of the most interesting thing about the blockchain in games, is that it's connected to the real world and to the game simultaneously. For the BitQuest, when he was burning all the money, was that actually being sent to a burn address, or how does that work?
Okay, yeah, that was actually the reason what he was doing. He thought it was like a nice idea to donate to the project. Let me tell you a little about a bit how the BitQuest works. when money gets into the gaming world, it gets fauceted to other players. So when a player buys something in the market, there should be like that. There's like kind of a trading bot. So you sell to a villager. You don't sell to like a game developer. They don't sell their stuff to us. So when a BitQuest player is selling, they can sell the bread they produce. They could sell it, so they sell it to a villager, and the villager is actually a Bitcoin wallet, and he has money to buy other stuff from other players too. So when he burns money, he's putting money into the world that it will go to villagers buying stuff from other players, or loot, that is when you kill a monster and you get a prize. So that was his way of making everything more fun. So yeah, it's kind of the intention here. And we see this stuff every day, like, well, kind of like every week, but we see stuff like this, you know, like we see people when they feel like their money is not going to the developer, but to the community, they are very altruistic. They can spend a lot of money on something that it will benefit all players, like the transit authority, you know. So that's something we are keeping an eye on, because we want to study it and we want to like show to the world how everything has been done to a point to be like. Really abusive with the player in terms of the economy of games.
Yeah, so I had another question for you. So I guess my question is why? So what I mean by that is it seems like a very interesting experiment to make games having like a very easy conversion from like real money to like in-game currency. It's an interesting experiment, but do you have any justification for why that makes the game better? Because a lot of people would argue that that makes the game worse. Just the whole like pay to win, like real money for in-game currency stuff.
Okay, that's the real question. That's what we are finding out. I mean, we start out to find out that very same question you are asking. And we started out and people got into our game, our first, our mod, and now our game. People are coming every day, new people are coming, every day new people are getting into this idea of like having eliminating the division of real world money and game money. Like there's just money inside a game, inside a virtual world. And I think we're gonna discover that. And I wanna sincerely tell you that I don't have the answer to your question. But what we do have is the interest of people who want us to make it. Every day, like we get messages every day, every minute we get messages from players. Like asking questions, all sorts of questions. And so we see that this is a thing. And yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure why, but it's something big.
Yeah, Jay? Yeah. You spend a lot of time on fantasy football. I'm wondering, since opening day is next week, can fantasy baseball fans participate?
So, great question. Fantasy football is like the Bitcoin of fantasy. However, and also, they also has another property. There's 16 games once a week. It's very clean. Baseball is kind of dirty, especially with the pitchers. Next step would be soccer. But yeah, we could have we can't do the first game. We could do the second game. We could do the futures platform. Yeah, definitely. Who do you like?
I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Get on the mic so the people can hear it on the live stream.
So, for instance, I feel like that virtual world for online currency for real money already exists. Is what you're doing different just using Bitcoin compared to US dollars to purchase in game? Or is it something else?
Okay, so the thing is that if we do the same in US dollars, we will get our bank accounts frozen. So it's not possible to do.
But I feel like there's already ways to buy currency online.
Yeah, people are resorting to other stuff to do the same thing that they want to make, but this other for example, there is a second market for World of Warcraft Gold, right? There is a second market for maybe every type of game currency except for Second Life, right? So what it means is that these game companies are employing lawyers, like compliance agencies, payment processors, and all kinds of people that are not necessary. We can just like make these people all go away, right? So the short question is like, can we make it in US dollar? Yes, we can make it, but our accounts will be frozen in 2 weeks.
What about if there's a glitch or an error or a dupe in the game?
Yeah, we had that. We lost a lot of money doing it, because of it.
So it's bad.
Yeah, see, it's very bad. So that's why we spend so much time in making the HammerCoin ledger really reliable. And we've learned lessons by making it. But I think, I was just talking to an investor this afternoon. He told me that every other company that he was like early into Bitcoin had a similar problem. Nobody will tell you about that. I'm not allowed to say names too, but yeah, I'm not gonna like try to sound smart ass that we don't have that problem. No, okay, we had it. But we now are very, very confident to call our game 1.0, whereas like in the past, like if you log into our game in early access, or if you logged into our BitQuest, it will tell you like, this is experimental. You can lose your money here. Don't spend large amount of money here. But players do it anyway. But we give them a big warning every time. They do it anyway. So what happened is it was a bad joke, but it was just a bad joke. Everybody knew this was experimental and stuff. And yeah, it's if I had to make an S1 and I was gonna be an IPO for this company, that would be the number one thing I will put in risk of this kind of company. Yeah.
I think Anari had the next question. All right. I really like the fantasy football platform. But I think that brings us into possibly a morality question, where if we're actually attaching a marketplace value to real people, are now you obligated to compensate these real people, whether it's blockchain chain or all. And secondly, we may actually, I'm not saying me, we, I mean you, may actually now start looking at potential trademark issues. Again, going with real value, real market value being attached to real players.
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to join us anytime. Yeah, so one of the issues, a lot of this stuff's been settled in court using players' names and stats and all that stuff. It's public domain. Although we do have one issue, we don't like people profiting off injuries. So the way the system's designed is everyone loses if there's a massive injury. I guess at some point we'll have to pay, but basically you could go negative during a down injury. Do they get compensated? I think actually one of the interested investors is the NFL. They're losing a lot of money with the whole cable thing going down, and I think that something like this gets bigger and bigger, it actually adds to the NFL's profits and then to the players' profits. But Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. We're in the same boat as the $50 billion market that's already there.
Hi there. I really like the HammerCoin kind of concept. From what I kind of understand, at the moment you have people topping up into basically a wallet where you own the private keys. I understand when they're burning money, it goes into a faucet which gives the villagers money or whatever. I guess the reason why you can't make it truly kind of peer-to-peer where you own your own private keys is an issue of kind of that fee market, because that would be really kind of micro transactions. Do you see kind of a future there for Lightning Network or any other kind of solutions to actually make it really truly kind of peer-to-peer rather than having kind of that slightly central authority that we have currently as it sounds?
Okay, so the system we have, like I said before, it was built on the mistakes we've made. So we're very proud of it, but we are also humble in the sense that we call it the Generation 1 engine. So we know this is Generation 2. And I can't answer to that question because it depends on the Bitcoin community of what technology it will adopt and what technology will permit. And I think, like, for example, I think side chains are possible right now, but the Elements side chain, but we haven't. We kind of like have different versions of our ledger in different technologies, and we kind of test different things out, but we really learned that we must like try them all and see where they're going. And right now I don't think there's any other technology. I don't want to like name stuff, but there's no other technology for us. We've been testing a few other alternatives for Generation 2, and we're not really confident of anything that we can use for Generation 2. So we are hoping that, and we are open to collaborate, and we're open to give feedback or code to technology that will enable our Generation 2 payment processing for games. But right now, in the state of what's yeah, it's our naive implementation of payments. It's kind of like a big payment channel, right? That's kind of working for us right now. But we know that there's going to be new stuff, and yeah, I think the consensus or advance is what will make new stuff happen, but what a stall in the Bitcoin development will mean bad things, because my personal opinion is that if we don't go forward, if the Bitcoin stays just as it is, there will be like this, I don't know, like this Coinbase guy who makes like I know, he has like 1 million apps installed, and this Zappo guy, they won't want to pay fees anymore, so they will make an interledger between them, right? So there's going to be a consortium, and there's going to be a consortium ledger. So what that will mean, it will mean that it's kind of like SWIFT between banks. So that's what's going to happen if Bitcoin is not making to the next level. And the implications of that are the same implications of every other industry, like the airline industry or the banking industry, and that is pretty well documented by Nash Equilibrium, right? So collaboration between them to move away from fees will occur independently of the state of the Bitcoin as of now. So that is a dangerous thing, and I'm not talking about which of the two separate Bitcoins will move forward. I'm just talking about what if nothing happens, right? So I think that that is a key element to what's gonna be enabled for us, our generation 2. But yeah, of course, we know it's generation 1 and we want something better.
All right, so we don't want to run this too long. Obviously, we'll be hanging out after for the conversations. But I have time for one last question. Looks like we have an interested party over here. And then we'll go ahead and go. There's more drinks I'll put out. I even have ice cream I'll put out after this. And we get ready to mingle and hang out. Last question. All right.
So Bitcoin solved the problem of digital scarcity. And so you're using Bitcoin as a currency. I'm just interested in what sort of problems are encountered in a computer game. So people can steal each other's homes or like replicate each other's homes. Like what does Bitcoin solve in a computer game setting other than the currency use case?
Nothing. It's just solve the currency problem. So
when people say Bitcoin solved the digital scarcity problem, well, there isn't a digital scarcity problem.
So like there's the problem of I think that's a very interesting problem if like you own a plot of land in a virtual world, right? It would be really cool if I could have a contract, like a digital contract on a blockchain that I own that piece of land, right? So I don't know if you're familiar with the Ready Player One book. It's going to be the next movie, Steven Spielberg. Like maybe like so in this book, the kid moves across different virtual worlds, and they all own a part of a world, right? So they have like a property contract, right? So yeah, I think that's where we're going, right? We need to do that. Like we need to have something that is your identity when you're traveling across different worlds, right? And having different for now, I think we're tackling a small problem, right? Like having if Bitcoin becomes the official currency of virtual worlds, you can move with the same wallet across different worlds. Like imagine if you're going to Spain for vacation and your money is not good. Like it will be ridiculous, right? You could like you have a credit card that you can move across countries and then you can exchange back what you didn't spend on Spain and change it back to $1, whatever, right? So we need to do that. If we think virtual worlds are real, if we think virtual worlds are societies, and my sociological thinking is about what if virtual worlds are places for people that they don't have a good place to be. Imagine if you are a political person in a country where your thinking is not allowed. You can move to a virtual space and find people alike, right? And that's what World of Warcraft or all these games mean to a lot of people. Like they can be themselves in a game because their society doesn't allow them to be themselves in their physical world, right? So it's not like the reality of San Francisco, right? So yeah, that's really important. And I think that's where we should be going. But the first problem to tackle is the problem of having a free currency that we can exchange between players, that it's not controlled by your government, and that you can move to the virtual world and back to the physical world.
People steal like people's houses in virtual reality games. So like
we have house stealing. We have had house stealing.
And so
we have had house raiding.
Bitcoin can solve that problem because you need to get the private key to be able to steal the house.
Yeah, I think that will be the problem. That will be the solution of maybe another blockchain or something like counterparty, right? But it might be another blockchain that's solving that problem. For now, I think there's the problem of the currency amongst virtual worlds. We need one currency for all the virtual worlds, and I think Bitcoin is perfect. I'm not qualified to answer the question if the same blockchain is perfect for solving the problem of land ownership on a virtual world. That's such an interesting problem, and that's something that should be addressed soon enough. I hope someone is taking that, and maybe if we solve this problem right now, we can take that as the next one. So we will be glad to do that.
And on that note, I'd like everybody to give a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, Christian, for coming out here tonight. There's still beer, there's a single slice of pizza, and I'm going to put ice cream out. So everyone, you're free to mill around here. We're here till 9. Hang out, socialize. Thank you so much for coming out. We look forward to seeing you again here next month. And we have an event in El Rio on the 6th. We look forward to seeing you there as well. Thanks.